Hello you all and welcome back to another video. My name is Ray Shine. For those of you who don't know me, people call me Ray. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving you this super cute look. This was supposed to be a soft glam makeup detailed makeup tutorial, but it turned into a full glam makeup detailed makeup tutorial rather. So if you want to see how I got this look, and if you also want some tips and tricks on a long lasting makeup application from a professional makeup artist as myself, then make sure you keep on watching. Before we get started, if you are not subscribed to my channel, please watch this video through so you can see whether you want to subscribe or not. I like to talk about makeup, all things beauty and God on this channel if you like to be encouraged. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into you all. So let's go ahead and jump straight into the video. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to prime my eyes, but I'm just going to be using some concealer. Any concealer would do, as long as the concealer is more of a lighter complexion in order for your eyeshadows to really like stand out and pop. This is a Nika K multi-use concealer. I'm just blending out my concealer with my damp sponge. So for my eyeshadow, I'm going to go into some OG palettes, still some of my favorite palettes. I'm going to probably use either the Anastasia Beverly Hills Extra Jackie Aina palette. And you guys, this palette looks like I barely touched it because I really barely touched it. And if you guys remember, if you know, you know, leave a comment down in the description box and let me know if you still got your palette, because I still have her. And as you guys can see, like, she still looks amazing. Nonetheless, this palette was still good because it has some really great complementary shades. Like, this palette definitely complements each other. And this is Jackie Aina in a palette, to be honest, because if you know OG Jackie, like, she wears a lot of shimmers on her lids. I mean, up until now, she wears more so like cool tone, like silvery-ish, a little bit of bronze gold here and there, but this is something that she would wear at the time of the creation of this palette. I also have the OG Anastasia Beverly Hills X Omrizi palette, whose birthday just passed. Well, the Soft Glam palette is my favorite. And then this one is my second favorite. I used to always say, like, if you could find this palette in Sephora, if you could get it, get it, just because it's that good of a palette. So this is the Omrizi, this is the Jackie Aina. And if you could tell the difference, the Jackie Aina palette is slightly more darker in shadows. Like, the colors are a little bit more dark, more deeper. And in this palette, it does have a black, okay, which I do appreciate. But this one is a little bit more like playful. This one is not necessarily like, this one is playful, but you can use, like, I can see myself wearing all these eyeshadows. And with this one, I can wear these too, but they're a little bit dark. So I'm going to go into the shade called Edges, and I'm going to use this as my transition shade. It's going to be like in between my crease, but above my crease, but underneath my brow bone. That's really the best way to explain where a transition shade goes. This color does come up like a slight brick red. So I'm going to go in with the Omrizi. This one is called 1988. I'm going to use this. Again, I'm going to place this right over that color, not as far up, but like in the crease to build up my dimension. I need a facial so bad. Like, the way I need to get these like bumps off my face is crazy. Like, I need a facial extremely bad at this point. I'm going to keep building this up to my liking. I'm going to go back in with the shade called 1988. I'm going to build up my crease just a little bit more just to have that definition. So when I put my lid shade on, it'll stand out a little bit more. Going with the shade called Dwellers. This is from the ABH X Jackie Aina palette. Like, it has a little, I don't know if you guys can see, green in here. Like a bronzy type color. I'm going to place this on my lid. I don't want it to be like too precise. I just want it to look like a pop of something. You know what I mean? Just going to blend out my edges really quickly. And then I'm going to go in with the shade called Yugo from the ABH Amrezy. I'm going to put this on the outer corner just to close this up. This is more of an eggplant like eyeshadow. So it's a little dark, but it's not like too dark. Okay, so I got my eyes out the way. I added my lashes and my liner. we're going to go ahead and move on to the base of this makeup look. I do want to go over some of the basics when it comes to a full face makeup application, because I know that a lot of issues with a lot of girls trying to do their own makeup is that they can't see the bronzer, they can't see the blush. It never looks like this. They always say my makeup never comes out like this when I do it. When they say this, they're talking about the makeup that I do on them. I'm going to be giving you some tips and some tricks as to what you should do as far as to up your makeup application and really get your desired look, so that, you know, when you want to go out and you don't have it to pay a makeup artist, or you can reach your makeup artist. I'm going to be giving you some tips as to how to get this look. And I'm not going to be cutting corners. When you're looking at TikTok videos, you're getting a quick snippet of a makeup look. They're not really showing you fully how to do it. So in this video, I'm going to be fully showing you how to get a flawless soft glam base. I'm going to prime my face, and you could use whatever primer, but I would say use a primer that is catered to your skin type. Okay, if you have oily skin, use a mattifying primer. If you have combination skin, you can use either or. It just depends on your desired look. And you are dry skin, use a more hydrating, more kind of on the not oily side, but one that's more hydrating. Okay, it's going to give you more shine on your face and not take it away. Okay, if you have oily skin, then you should not be using a primer that is more so greasy, catered to glowy, you know, things like that. Okay, so for my primer today, I'm going to be going in with the e.l.f. Putty Poreless Primer. This primer does help to fill in your pores. I know I say it all the time, but it helps to fill in your pores and it masks your pores as well. So it's going to make it look like your pores are smaller, and it's going to give you more of a filtered look. The Refi Glow and Sculpt Primer is just what it says, glow and sculpt. It's going to feel like a serum on your face. If you feel like you have oily skin, then I would not recommend you get this primer, because it's going to feel like, you know, you're adding even more like oils on the skin. Not that this feels oily. It's very lightweight. It's like a serum on the skin. It does give your skin kind of like a little nice glow finish. I use the Glow and Sculpt first, and then I go in with the e.l.f. Putty Poreless Primer. I like to take a little bit of the primer underneath my eyes, just to hydrate underneath my eyes, because you guys know I go in with a lot of powder. This is why it's so good to prep your skin before makeup. Use a moisturizer even if you have oily skin. It's just going to help your makeup sit so much better. And I say that because if you guys didn't notice, like Bobbi Brown has a vitamin enriched face base. That is a thick face moisturizing cream. And then you also have Charlotte Tilbury, who also have a face base, which is a cream as well. This is something that you will put on your face first before you even go in with makeup, because your makeup is going to sit so much better on the skin. So do not shy away from moisturizing your skin before makeup. It's going to have your makeup sit so much better. A lot of people say, oh, your makeup looks so nice. It really comes from proper like skincare. Now I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. The e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I'm going to put this right where my pores are more prominent. Now, as a makeup artist, one of the things I see a lot of people do, because they're trendy, is go straight in with a concealer, and they like skip the foundation and do the foundation last. Some people need to look up the word foundation, because if you look up the word foundation, you know that foundation is the first thing that goes down. Okay, so like I understand trends and just trying new things, but ultimately the order is foundation and then whatever else you put on top. I mean, any master makeup artist will tell you never put concealer underneath the eyes first, unless it is a concealer that is closest to their complexion or darker, because underneath those eyes can cause for your veins to pop through a lot quicker. It could cause your eyes to look a lot lighter than normal, and it can just look uneven. So I know a lot of people work it out and they use concealer first, but I would definitely prefer you use a foundation and bring it up underneath your eyes. It doesn't have to be a lot, but just bring it up underneath your eyes. Okay, as you guys can see, I've rubbed this in my skin. So I'm going to be going in with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Hydrating Longwear Foundation. This one is in the shade 450. When I first got this foundation, I really liked it. I think I reviewed it here on my channel. This is a sure way to get a flawless base. I feel like that underpainting method is not good for beginners, because it's all about your blending. If you're a beginner, your skills are not there yet. So what I would suggest is that you put your foundation on first. If you're using a brush, blend your foundation down, just because the base does have facial hairs on it. and you don't want to like move those facial hairs and they're going up sideways. So just blend it down. Take it down your neck. Then you want to go ahead and blend out your forehead. This foundation, as you guys can see, is a little on the warmer side for me. I think I told you guys I'm also of a neutral girl. I'm not as warm. I do like my foundation to have some red in it, but not like overpowering because it makes me look dark. I am taking my foundation underneath my eyes, okay? So what that does is it takes away any discoloration that I may have had underneath my eyes. Sometimes you don't have to go in with the orange corrector. You don't have to go in with the concealer that's your complexion. You can just use your foundation and just do, you know what I mean? Now, unless you have dark under eyes, then yes, I would suggest you going with a color corrector. But it's not needed necessarily for every person. Once we have the base down to our liking, once you put it on, look at your face, examine it. Is this my desired look? Do I want to add more? Do I want to take some away? Just ask yourself that. Like you can see the hydration coming through with this foundation. It's glowy and all the things. This foundation is really nice. It came on really good. It wasn't like oily coming out. Like it just looks so good. It looks so hydrating. When you're adding concealer, concealer is used for brightness. You're going to be bringing back some brightness to the skin. So as you can see, the face is one note, it's flat. And now we need to just go ahead and add some dimension, some definition, and some color back to the face. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to add some concealer. If you can still see darkness underneath your eyes, then of course, again, I would suggest that you add your color corrector before your foundation and then you add your concealer after. So I'm going to go ahead and add some concealer. This one is the Nika K Multi-Use Concealer in the shade number 10. Has a perfect amount of like neutral but like golden tone at the same time. I like to bring my concealer down to balance out my face. If you put concealer underneath your eyes only, you'll notice in your pictures or just whatever, this just looks so dark compared to your under eyes. So you want to balance that out by adding concealer underneath your eyes, on your chin. You don't have to add it here necessarily, but you kind of do because sometimes this can look dark because of the mustache shadow over the nose. I also like to put concealer on my forehead as well. I'm going to also go in with the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Concealer in Mocha. I'm going to put some right here in the front. I'm going to add a little bit on the outer corner of my eye going up because I want that lifted eye look. And you can do all of this with makeup. Like, you don't need surgery, girl. But you don't. Like, if you know how to do makeup, you don't need a facelift. You just need to watch this video so you can get the best of the best, okay? When you're doing your makeup, you want to kind of go in a little more than normal. Some people just put like a little dot here, a dot there. That's not going to work. You have to go in a little bit more than usual to get your concealer to really show up and be as bright as you would like it to be. Now, if you want very light, neutral makeup, then go in with the dot dot. But a dot dot does not work for a full face. I'm just going to go ahead and sand my face because I do want my concealer to get a little tacky. Sometimes when you blend out your concealer straightway, the concealer tends to kind of vanish a little bit. So I don't want my concealer to vanish. I want it to give me more pigmentation. I want it to, you know, really brighten up my skin and not just blend in with my foundation. Let's go ahead and blend out this concealer. To blend out my concealer, I'm going to be going in with a powder puff. The difference between a powder puff is that a powder puff does not soak in any product. It is made to blend out your makeup and that is it. A sponge is going to soak in some of that product. So if you maybe put too much concealer on by accident or you put too much foundation on by accident, use a damp sponge, blend it out, and it's going to definitely even out your makeup, make it look flawless, and it's not going to look as heavy. But if you blend it out with a powder puff, it's just going to blend out your makeup. It's not going to take anything away. And normally, you guys know I would use a sponge for this, but I'm going to use a powder puff. I'm so tempted. It feels so soft, so bouncy, but I'm going to use a powder puff. That blended right into my skin, just melted away. So I'm just going to blend out the concealer underneath my eye. You guys know I like a little lifted look, and it just does it for me. Like, I don't have to take my arm and blend it this way. You know, that little pointy part here, it just gets those corners. When you're doing your makeup, take your time. Don't be in a rush to blend out your concealer because this is the part that needs to look the best. Like, makeup can be a scary thing just because people don't know like how to blend out their makeup, but I think that if you take your time with it, it'll look perfect. Look at that. That looks so flawless. Look at the back of the powder puff. This is the back or front, whatever. And this is the part I just blended out my concealer with. Barely any product on here. So I'm going to do the other side using a sponge just to see, like, is there going to be like a major difference? It's going to definitely blend out my concealer a lot faster because it is a sponge. And my under eyes may look a little bit more hydrating because I'm using a damp sponge. So again, if you have dry skin, use a damp sponge for your makeup. It's going to look a lot more hydrating and not so like dry looking. This side is blended out with the powder puff and this side is blended out with a sponge. Let me know if you guys see a difference. This side definitely does look a little bit more hydrating no matter what angle with my concealer on. I mean, this side looks hydrating too just because it just does. I'm going to go in with the pressed powder first. I'm going to go in with the MAC Studio Fix pressed powder, foundation powder in C7. I'm going to do this using my powder puff once again. I'm going to turn the powder puff on the opposite side like so. I'm going to take it on my powder puff and I'm just going to blend out my under eyes, okay? When you use a pressed powder underneath your eyes first, it's more flawless, seamless. I mean, to each his own at this point because you can do it either way. But using the pressed powder, because the powder is pressed underneath the eyes, your powders are not separating. So it's really just setting all of your concealer down at once. You understand what I'm saying? So I do like that for that reason. It makes a lot more sense. You can also set your under eyes using your sponge as well, but I want to be more practical because I know a lot of people are not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and go in again underneath my eyes, straightway with the pressed powder. This is C7. If you're my complexion, yes, you can use C7. And we're going to just press this underneath the eyes. You see that? That's flawless. I mean, is it not? Because it's flawless. We're going to set the T-zone area. So the T-zone area, of course, it is your forehead, everywhere your oils would typically seep through, which is the forehead, the nose. Okay. Underneath your nose, a lot of people perspire underneath their nose. I know, I'm a makeup artist and I've seen it happen so many times. It causes your makeup to break up. So you really have to be, careful how you set your face. Go in a little heavier on your T-zone if that's where you perspire a lot. I just feel like a lot of people are just so scared to use powders, and it's like, you can't be scared using powders. Like, if you perspire under your nose heavily, just let it sit there as if you're baking. Let it sit because you want to soak up them oils, okay? Same thing with the chin. If you perspire on your chin heavily, you want to go ahead and set that as well, kind of bake it a little bit. This is why I set these areas on my T-zone, like even right here, bake a little bit here. Make sure you add a little bit more powder so that that powder can soak in those oils so your makeup can last a lot longer, okay? Like wherever you see like little oily patches on your face, just go back and set, okay? That means you didn't set that good the first time. I'm going to keep it Fenty, and we're going to go ahead and set the rest of my face using a Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Powder Foundation in the shade 450. So I'm going to set everywhere except underneath my eyes just because I don't like to go in underneath my eyes once it's set. I'm going to go back and double set my eyes anyway with a powder, so a loose powder, so I'm not going to do too much. Now, as you're setting the rest of your face, this is called the finishing powder. You're going to finish everywhere else. You're going to just begin to set that foundation down. If you use a cream bronzer, you're just going to set all of this down. Never set a cream bronzer or a cream blush with a powder blush or powder bronzer before you set your whole face. It's going to look muddy. Going to keep your makeup stuck in the same place. It's not going to move. It's not going to look good. Okay, and because this is more of a like luminous or dewy foundation, I really want to make sure that my makeup is a little bit more set. Now we're going to go in with a blush. Okay, I'm keeping it super simple for you guys today. We're not going to be doing like liquid creams and stuff like that. I want to keep it simple for the girls who don't do that. I'm going to go in with the Fenty Beauty Sunstalker Bronzer in Thick Mint number 9. This is how it looks. Number 9 is such a warm shade for me, and it really just warms up my skin. I mean, this shade for me could be a blush all at the same time. So I'm just going to blot this into my skin. I am not swiping it. I want to make sure my makeup is fully set before I start swiping. Don't take it too far up in the front. That's going to look funny. Don't do that. Sometimes it can happen by accident, but don't do it. Just keep it like behind the cheek, if that makes sense. Notice how I'm taking it up. I'm not bringing it down my face, but I'm keeping it upward. You want to start off light first, but then you want to just go in a little heavier because you want to be able to see it. That's why it's good to make sure that you go in with a heavier, go in with your concealer a little heavy, because you don't want your face to just be heavy on the bronze, but you didn't have that same energy for that concealer. So now your face is looking uneven. Okay. So as you guys can see, you can really see that bronzer. Okay. When you're doing powders and you're not doing like a cream blush or a cream bronzer, go in a little heavier with that blush and with that bronzer. Just sculpting the chin a little bit. If you got a double chin, bring it down. Okay. You got a double chin, bring it down. Do it on a chin and bring it down. If you don't have a double chin, you just want to sculpt your chin, your face, sculpt it. Okay, don't take it too far up. If you have a small face, do not take it far up. Take it under your chin. Okay, you don't want to cut your face off. That same Fenty Beauty Sunstalker bronzer. Always start off light with anything you're doing. Concealer, foundation, just go in with a light hand, because if you start off heavy, it's hard to fix heavy. But if you start off light, it's easy to fix light. But just go in a lot lighter with a lighter hand. For me, on the other hand, it may seem like, well, you're going straight in. I mean, I am a makeup artist. But if you are a person looking to contour your nose, I like to take my contour into my brows, and then I like to bring it down. I always like to use something kind of angled. I don't like to use any like a big old brush, something more angled. And be realistic when you're contouring your nose. Like, contour used to be crazy, but I'm definitely a lot more realistic when it comes to contouring my nose. I'm not like trying to make my nose look different than what it already is. Another tip before doing your makeup is make sure you don't have any extra facial hairs. I always make sure I razor my brows. I take off any mustache hairs, any hairs around your face, all of that. Like, you really have to like take care of your skin. Some people have come to me with facial hairs, and I'm like, I don't know how she expect this makeup to sit, because this makeup not gonna sit that well with all her facial hairs popping through. You know what I'm saying? So like, make sure you shave your face. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people don't believe in that. It's like, girl, it's not about what you believe in. It's what is the truth. Of course, I'm going to go in with the CoverGirl So Flush blush. I'm going to use that same bronzer brush. I'm going to really dig in my blush, and I'm going to take it back here. I really want that blushed look. Again, start off light, then you just build upon it. But y'all know me. I'm going to go a little heavy, okay? And I'm gonna keep it up here like I've recently been doing, because I really like the way blush looks like back there. It just looks like a peekaboo. It's like, oh my goodness, girl, what's that? You know what I mean? Like, that's me all day. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. I'm gonna keep it back. Normally, you guys know I like have it all the way up at the front, but I'm not doing that today. I just want to keep it in the back. I really like the way it looks. I'm gonna also like just take it in my brow a little bit, because I really like the way that this looks. Off my headband, since I've basically laid all my powders down. Okay, the headband is off. We're going to go ahead and take the brush with no added product. I'm just going to blend out my hairline just to make sure everything is seamless. You want your lace to be blended in with your makeup anyway, so you're going to have to take that headband off. Okay, all right. A little bit more. I'm going to go my face with my powder in the shade Banana. This is for brightening purposes, and also to bake, just to make sure my makeup is really not going to move. And I added that like in the T-zone area, as well as my smile lines, again, to really, capture the oils and make sure that my makeup is staying in place, and to add added brightness. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do my lips, because we're almost done with this makeup. So I'm going to go ahead and do my lips. I did add my blush. I don't know what part you guys got cut off at, but I added the So Flush blush from CoverGirl, and then I also added the Juvia's Place Volume 4 blush as well, and I kept it on a far back portion of my face. This is my Little Makeup Revolution lip liner. I forgot what color it's in because it's rubbed off. But this reminds me of like MAC's I'm going to use a black liner. I'm going to blend it out. Lately, I have been liking this one from Sephora. This Sephora Lip Stories lipstick in Spiked. Like a pinky mauve. So some people say mauve. I'm like, where do you get mauve from? Like right on the line. Because my blush is pink, so that's why I did a pink. And the pink just lightens up the face a little bit more, so I'm here for the pink. Definitely here for the pink. I'm going to use the pink gloss called Honeymoon from NYX. This is a NYX Lip Lingerie Lip Gloss. Okay, we're going to use a pressed powder, always, to sweep away. Okay, you all, so this is the end of the video. My camera kept cutting off. Like, it cut off like at least 3 times. So, wherever I didn't finish, that's where the camera cut off. But this is the end of the look. And I just want to show you guys really quickly what I set my face with. And I didn't think that this actually worked because when I sprayed it on my hand, I don't really see anything. But when I sprayed it on my face, I can see like the glitter, the illuminating, whatever. Like, I mean, it was done purposely, but it was done by accident because I didn't think that you could see it like that. So that's where these little glow drops and things are coming from. And that is this Festive Body Illuminizer. It says Body Face Hair Transfer Proof, which I do believe because literally like it's on. And I got this from the beauty supply store. I'm gonna spray a little bit on my chest just to see like what we doing. Let me see. I just want to see like what it's gonna do. I feel like in the summertime, like if you are going to show off your décolletage, then you probably should put a little something on there just to, you know. So anyways, that's that. Let me know if you all got some tricks and some tips from this video. It's supposed to be soft glam, but girl, we turned glam real quick. Like we went from supposed to be soft glam to a full glam. This is a full glam. It looks so good. I don't even know if you guys seen how I did my blush, but because the camera cut off once again. And just for just FYI, in case you guys want to know where I got this hair. Again, this hair is the Sensational Kinks Curls & Co line. It does come with the little kinky edges, but I pressed and combed them back. And this is the unit. This is 14-inch deep body weight wig. Okay, 3x6 of parting space, so I can do a little side part, middle part. It doesn't matter. But that's what this is. I like the black version of this unit a lot better, but this is also cute as well. Light hair on me always makes my face look lighter, period. I don't care what nobody say. My face always just looks a lot lighter. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you are not already, and hit the notification bell so that you will be notified when I upload a new video. Leave some comments again down below and let me know what you think about this video. And I will see you all in my next video. I love you all. Bye.